something from last term. What is plasma? It's mostly what? Water. Plasma is about 91% water. And 9% solute. Well, let's see what's in the solute. In the solute, the main thing we want to talk about, it's about 7% of the solute. Only about 1/10, a little bit less of the solute, are proteins. But they are very important in your plasma. And I'm going to talk about, just very nicely, about 4 of them. 5 of them. First one is a big protein called albumin. Of all the proteins that are in your blood, this is about 55% of all proteins. And what is its function? It has one function. It provides COP, calorie osmotic record. To really understand this, which is not hard, you go back into your memory. Remember the words isotonic, hypotonic, hypertonic. You all remember that? You remember osmosis, the movement of water? Okay, this is easy. Finish the sentence. Water always moves from an area of higher water concentration towards an area of lower water. Okay? With me? Now, what if I have the same water concentration in a cell as outside the cell? Would there be any water movement? No. If the water concentration is the same, then we'd say the water outside the cell is isotonic. Iso meaning what? Same. You with me? So now let's take a look at what happens in life. I'm going to do this slowly. It is critical that you know this. Critical, because all of circulation depends on it. Blood moves through blood vessels under pressure, correct? Where does that pressure come from? The heart. And as the blood goes through the arteries, nothing can leave because the artery walls are too thick. Same thing for arterioles and veins. The only place where fluids and small things can leave the blood is in capillaries. You with me? And you have a lot of capillaries in your body. So here comes the blood. It's entering the capillary. Under what? Under pressure. So I'm going to draw. Let's say this is an arteriole. This is a capillary. The blood is coming down, and some blood is going into the capillary. And the blood is pressing against the walls. It's going, pushing the blood forward, and as it presses against the walls, fluid comes out. Does that make sense? The higher the pressure, what? More fluid goes out. So that's nice. You like that, because as fluid leaves your capillaries, you know what's dissolved in the fluid? Amino acids, sugars, salts, you with me? And where are you bringing all of that? You're bringing it to the cells that need what? Amino acids, sugars, and salts. But if you keep pushing all your fluid out, pretty soon your interstitial space would what? Blow up, and you'd be edematous, and you'd have not enough fluid in your blood, and your blood pressure would drop. So you got to get the fluid what? Back in. Well, as you push fluid out, what's happening to the plasma? The proteins, they can't get out. They become more concentrated, correct, folks? If you push fluid out, the protein doesn't leave with the fluid because it's what? Too big. So now, On the other end of the capillary, as this blood gets more what? Concentrated with what? Lots of more albumin, because you what? Pushed out a lot of fluid. What are you going to start to do? You're going to pull fluid back in. What do you call the ability to pull fluid back in? Colloid, osmotic pressure. The word colloid means protein. The protein's what? The more protein you have, the more what? Fluid using back. The more concentrated the protein. That makes sense there, really? So let me give you a practical example of this. If you look at the children in Biafra, very poor country, and you look at the kids, they tend to have, you've seen the skinny arms, skinny legs, and what? A big belly. Why do they got a big belly? You know what happened? They're not eating protein. If they're not eating protein, they can't make albumin. So fluid gets pushed out, but most of it can't come back. Where does the fluid go? It works its way into the abdominal cavity. Don't ever say stomach. Stomach is in the abdominal cavity. You know the space into which there is a spleen and a liver and a stomach. And that cavity, what? Fills with fluid. That, you all follow me? You know who else gets this? Severe alcoholics. Why? Where do you